Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you're gearing up for that 2026 cruise, right? You're probably picturing amazing destinations, incredible food. But here's the thing. The real secret to an amazing cruise vacation is all about mastering the daily rhythm. Today, we're going to dive into how to plan your days so you get all the fun without any of the stress.
Okay, picture this. You finally get on board, you're super excited, you open up the cruise app or that little daily planner they leave in your room, and whoa, it's just this endless list of stuff to do, right? Shows, classes, trivia, parties. It's awesome, but it can also feel like a homework assignment. You get this feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to do everything or I'm gonna miss out.
And that feeling? It has a name, Cruise FOMO, the fear of missing out. It is a very, very real thing. I love this quote because it just nails it. You want to do everything, and it's exhausting. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to run your vacation. Today, we're gonna kick that FOMO to the curb with a super simple plan. And we'll do it by breaking down the 3 basic types of days you'll have on your cruise. All right, first up, let's talk about mastering your sea day. Think of it as your floating resort experience. So, what is a sea day? Super simple. It's a full day when the ship is just sailing the open ocean. You're not stopping anywhere. The ship is the destination. It's your one big, uninterrupted day to explore this massive floating resort you're on.
And trust me, there is so much to do. You can relax by the pool, hit the spa, try a fancy specialty restaurant, take a cooking class, or see a huge Broadway-style show at night. I mean, the list goes on and on. You can have this totally high-energy, packed day if you want to.
But, and this is the really important part, you don't have to. A sea day can also be the total opposite. It can be about finding a quiet little lounge, grabbing a book and a coffee, and just staring at the ocean for a few hours. Amidst all the hustle and bustle, there are always these little pockets of calm. The whole point is, it's your choice.
Okay, next up, let's talk about maximizing your port day. This is all about your adventure ashore.
So, a port day is pretty straightforward. It's any day the ship docks at a destination and you get to hop off and explore. But here's the catch. You've only got a limited time, maybe 6, 8, 10 hours. It's this awesome but brief window of opportunity to soak in a new place. And how you spend that time, well, that's a pretty big deal. You've basically got 2 main ways to go. Path number 1 is booking an excursion right through the cruise line. It's super convenient, and they guarantee you'll get back to the ship on time. No stress. Path number 2 is going rogue, exploring independently. You could book with a local tour guide or just wander around on your own. This can be way cheaper, sometimes up to 40% cheaper, and you often get smaller groups. The big trade-off? You are 100% in charge of getting back to that ship on time.
So a classic example would be something like this. If you're in Alaska, you could book a tour that takes you whale watching and to the Mendenhall Glacier. It packages these 2 huge, incredible experiences into one easy trip. By the way, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of planning for specific places like Juneau, we have a whole series of explainers that are just dedicated port guides. Definitely check those out. And that brings me to the absolute golden rule of port days. I really, truly cannot say this enough. You have to be back before the all-aboard time. That time is not a suggestion, it is sacred. If you are late, I promise you, the ship will leave. It has to. So my personal rule of thumb, plan to be back at the port an hour before you actually need to be on board. Just build in that buffer. All right, on to our third and final type of day, which is this really cool hybrid. It's like the best of a sea day and a port day all rolled into one. I'm talking about the cruise line's private island. I mean, just look at how easy this is. You literally just stroll right off the ship. No taxis, no water shuttles, nothing. You find a perfect beach chair, plop down, and just start enjoying everything. It is the ultimate inconvenience. All the annoying logistics, poof, gone. Now, it's super important to know what's included and what's going to cost you extra. You can have an absolutely amazing day without spending a dime. The beaches, the pools, a big lunch buffet, basic drinks, all the chairs and umbrellas, that's all usually part of your cruise fare. But if you want to dial up the thrills, you can pay extra for things like a huge water park, zip lines, or renting one of those fancy private cabanas for the day. And these islands are really destinations in their own right. They each have their own unique personality. If you want the full scoop on a specific spot, like Royal Caribbean's perfect day at Coco Cay, we've got a whole other explainer that really dives deep into all the details for you. Okay, so we've got sea days, port days, and private islands. Now for the big question. How do we pull all this together to actually beat that cruise FOMO we talked about at the beginning? Here's the secret. It's a total mindset shift. The secret is not doing everything. It's about doing what matters most to you. Seriously, nobody's handing out a medal for the person with the most packed schedule. The goal is to have fun and actually relax, and that means you have to prioritize what you're genuinely excited about.
And here is the simple little trick to do just that. I call it the 1-1-1 framework. For every single day of your cruise, you're going to pick just 3 things. First, your one must-do. This is the one thing that if you missed it, you'd be totally bummed. Maybe it's that big show, or a specific excursion, or dinner at that one restaurant. That's your priority. Second, you pick one nice-to-do. This is your backup plan. If you feel like it and have the energy, awesome. If not, no big deal. And third, and this might be the most important, you schedule one rest block. This is dedicated, scheduled time to do nothing. Take a nap, read a book, just stare at the waves. It builds in that downtime so you don't burn out. It's simple, right? It gives you a plan without making you feel trapped.
And honestly, that's what it's all about. A framework like this lets you actually enjoy what makes cruising so great in the first place. I mean, it's one of the easiest ways to travel because all the little details are taken care of for you. All you have to do is relax and have fun. So now that you have this little framework, I want you to start thinking about it for your 2026 trip. What's going to be your must-do on that first sea day? What kind of adventure are you dreaming of for that big port day? When you start planning with purpose instead of pressure, you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself an incredible vacation. I really hope this helps, and thanks for joining me.
Ready for a travel experience that's truly elevated? Reach out to Siobhan at wanderkeep.com or just scan the QR code and let's start planning your next unforgettable journey because your journey deserves to be elevated.